have to film a video for the publishing company that I'm writing my book for and with and under. I'm not sure the correct terminology for that. But essentially I have to just make a video saying hello and thank you and here's why I'm excited, kind of for an internal team. I was like, I don't want it to be funny because it's actually like, I don't want to make a joke of the book. I do want to be an idiot for a second. So I'm thinking, you know those like fireplace like montage of someone in a robe with a cigar and they're like, oh hello. It's supposed to be very fancy and by a fireplace, which automatically makes them more important. I'm thinking of doing that. I don't have a fireplace, I can edit it in later. But I'm thinking of them catching me like reading glasses and this coat. Yeah, that's not too bad. Just make myself look real studious. Very smart. That's an author. Yes, very studious. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. You caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting any company, so you should probably go. It's weird that you just snuck in. No, this actually isn't gonna be a joke. I just kind of wanted to be funny, but we're gonna actually be serious now. I really want to update the photos that I have of myself kind of everywhere, just internally with like my team. And I have a photographer that I work with. She lives in Kansas. Sometimes the process of getting pictures taken with somebody is overwhelming because it's just, you're doing it in front of somebody and it's kind of a lot emotionally and like mentally. Sometimes I do practice shoots where I just practice posing and I practice styling myself so that when I do that in front of somebody else, the hurdle of me knowing what to do with my body is not what I'm actively fighting against that day. It's more just, what shots do we need to get today and how do we best do that? I find that I am the biggest obstacle in those kinds of situations. It's just my comfort level that doesn't match what I need to be doing in that moment. And so I just am really working on trying to be more comfortable in my skin in front of a camera with another person behind it. Because I'm very comfortable just with you here because there's nobody here. I'm talking to myself right now. I'm not used to creating anything in the presence of anybody else. So I like really lock up. So I'm just working on not locking up because I really want to feel as comfortable as I do right now in front of another person. So today, even if these are just like practice shots and practice poses, I just end up getting a few clothes that I love and feel comfortable in. Honestly, this has been in like every single one of my photo shoots ever. I have a dress, basically everything I've ever posed in ever, but again. So let's do it again. Oh, that reminded me of the Audible song. Eat a cookie or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 and do it again. And then we'll do it again. I have a call with them today, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah, so I think I'm gonna do that. Also, I brought this shirt because I'm working on crocheting like a see-through lace shirt. That was what I was trying to do for the last shirt that I made. I ended up making it way too big and also way too thick. It's so cool, I can't wait to finish it. I just started on the other half. Act like this is both sides of me. If it's triple crocheted over itself in a million different ways, it's gonna become very thick and very heavy very fast. So I'll show you what I've been making. I've been making these lace granny squares, and kind of slowly but surely. Cute, right? I want to kind of lay them out and figure out how they should be situated to make up a button-up shirt, but I want it to basically be like an exact replica of that. I just look a little disheveled right now, sorry. I wanna see how many I need to replicate that short sleeve shirt because I love the way that button-up collared short sleeve shirt fits. Because imagine how cute this would be if it was like buttoned up, see-through, you have jeans, and then like a bandeau like right across the middle. It'd be fun for summer, just in time, because it's like 9 degrees outside now, so by the time I finish it, it's perfect. It'll be time to wear it. Let's see where we're at. I think I made these too big. Why didn't I just measure it? Okay, because I was a silly little goose. Didn't do any measuring before. If anything requires one extra step, my brain's like, nah, skip it, skip it, skip it. Come on, skip it. I I skipped it. But now, because of the sizing of it, I think I'm gonna make like a tank top style floor length see-through crochet dress that you can like wear over a bathing suit maybe. So that's kind of where we're at now. So it'll be real lacy, it'll be really cool. I'm really excited actually. I like this more. And then you can just throw it over your bathing suit and it's like a little see-through. It's like mesh, but it's not mesh because it's not mesh, but kind of fun. I like that a lot. I'll keep making these and I'm gonna take some measurements now because this is when it matters. I think I'm like 50% positive I know how to use a steamer. I'm gonna read you one more short story. I really enjoyed reading you the last one, The Timekeeper's Clocks. Yeah, I thought I would just share this short story with you. It's called Camouflage, and it was inspired by a very small snippet of a fight I overheard at a cafe between two married people, and I just kind of went with it and my brain kind of spiraled and I was like, I wonder what that whole fight would look like from start to finish. So I kind of wrote it out. Hypothetical, nobody is gonna hear this and think, oh my God, that was us. Just wanted to clarify that. Ready? What's the matter with you? Nothing's the matter with me, I'm fine. You don't look fine. Well, I am fine. Fine. Great. Great. Fine. I am not fine. I'm fighting with a man about cheese. Specifically, whether people enjoy the taste of stinky cheese because they actually enjoy the taste, or because they feel like they should enjoy the taste. This conversation slowly transformed into an argument around the time coffee was mentioned. I said I enjoy drinking black coffee. This deeply offended him, and he went into a small and very long monologue about how the fat in milk activates different flavor notes from the coffee beans that one might not experience otherwise. When someone is sacrilegious and drinks it without any cream at all, they aren't tasting the coffee as it's meant to be tasted, and also, they're generally a waste of space. George didn't say that last part, but the tone of his voice said it for him. I've heard the exact opposite argument before. All of this about the milk and the fat and the beans and the right and wrong way to drink coffee. In fact, I've heard more than enough about milk from George, as well as from others. There seems to be a million different versions of this argument for and against milk. I care about all of them equally, which is approximately not at all. You also drink your coffee at the wrong temperature. It's always lukewarm, George took the opportunity to add. Because I like it that way, I reply. This is a very ironic soapbox for a man who doesn't even drink coffee to climb up and camp on top of. He drinks tea. George is a tea drinker, a tea purist. I strongly believe it is a fundamental vow that every tea purist must swear to uphold, maybe a blood oath they make with the person who introduced them to this new and exciting life of tea, the holy promise to hate coffee. Violently and very loudly for the rest of their life, absolutely no exceptions can be made. As far as casual tea drinkers go, these rules do not apply, because if someone casually drinks tea, they probably don't like tea at all. At best, they barely like tea. They like the idea of it. They drink tea because they love someone who loves tea. Casual tea drinkers have no idea how to drink tea, and when asked by the tea purist, what is your favorite tea? A casual tea drinker will say, I have an apple cinnamon tea at home that kind of tastes like apple cider. I think I liked it once, at least enough to buy it. It's never been opened, but I remember liking it. The tea purist laughs knowingly, as if they can already picture in their head all the ways they are about to change the life of the sad and simple-minded soul sitting across from them, unsure of what to do with the teacup they've just been given. Does the bag need to come out at some point? If I tug on the string and let the bag of leaves dance in the hot water, will it make the tea taste better? Maybe worse? Is it okay if I put milk in this? Should I put milk in this? Drink your tea how you want to drink it, and I will drink my coffee how I want to drink it. I promise I won't ever tell you how to drink your tea, I say. We soar through the rich conversational peaks and valleys of how tea and coffee are not the same thing, and how offensive it is that a coffee drinker would lump themselves into the community of tea purists. When arguing about tea and coffee didn't thrill us anymore, we moved on to how disgusting the taste and texture of avocado is. George's words, not mine. I would never disrespect an avocado this way. So casual and so cruel and so matter-of-fact, like his opinion is nothing short of doctrine and should be regarded as such. I don't think we're fighting about avocados. I also don't think we're fighting about coffee or tea. In fact, I'm sure we aren't. We moved from avocado to cream cheese to sipping brandy, which really is disgusting, and I had no problem telling him just how disgusting it is. We landed near red wine and cheese pairings and charcuterie boards. They're a waste of food. No one is going to eat that much meat and cheese. Charcuterie boards aren't always just meat and cheese. There's way more on a charcuterie board than meat and cheese. And besides, they're fun, George. You think wasting food is fun? Is that what I just said? No, I didn't say that at all. Show me where the words, "I think wasting food is fun," came out of my mouth just now. I said eating off a charcuterie board is fun. That's the problem with you. You think everything you feel is the truth, and anyone who feels differently is wrong. Am I not allowed to enjoy something because you don't understand it? Whatever, I still think they're a waste. And maybe I don't want to be with someone who is so comfortable wasting food. Someone who enjoys partaking in traditions that are rooted in waste. Also, brie cheese is disgusting. And just before, I was so overwhelmingly fine that I made sure fine was the last word out of my mouth before I shut down for the night. Brie cheese became the death of this relationship. Brie cheese, in a year of fights we couldn't work up the courage to have, so we camouflaged them as fights we were more than eager to start. Brie cheese and camouflaged fights, and the woman George slept with that wasn't me 1 year into our marriage. Brie cheese is amazing, and George is a fucking idiot. The last line, I love it. Oh my God. Okay, so that's my short story, Camouflage. Oh, okay. Sorry. No, my AirPods just decide that if they're out of their case, then every single device I own just wants to connect to them. That couldn't even be further from the truth, because honestly, I just put things in my pocket and then I forget that they're there. You know how many AirPods I've washed? So many. That's not the point. Let's start the call. Sorry. All right, let's scan some shit. Today I'm basically spending the entire day scanning illustrations. It's so slow, but it has to be because the image quality has to be high enough, which means the scan is slower to get more detail. You heard me talking about him. Yes, you're there. I see you. Okay, are you done? Can I talk now? Thank you. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so I'm just gonna be spending basically the whole while I'm trying to keep myself from going a little bit numb in the mind. I just thought it'd be fun to play the question game with myself. Mostly just to keep me from giving up. It's not the actual monotonous task of scanning. That's dream task for me. Give me a list of things to do where I can shut my brain off. Amazing. But I can't do that with this because it takes just long enough to shut your brain off, and then you have to go back and then redo it and then save it. And this specific kind of scanning is the worst kind of scanning. Honestly, I'm using you as a body double. I'm also a little cold, so I'm gonna get my jacket. We love a good natural light. That's hotter than I thought it was gonna be. I have these alcohol wipes that I use for my screen, and they're really handy when you have them and remember where they are, which I don't, apparently. Oh, you know what? I forgot that there's all that stuff in that closet. Cool, free stuff. Oh my God, you know what I found? I found 2 of my old cell phones from college. We need to load those up. I should charge those up right now. And no, Elise, no, you have to do the scans, but I should charge them up so that we can go through them and look at what photos and what voice memos I have. There could just be a trove of songs that could be written, that were written, that I forgot about. I love finding old songs that I didn't finish, that in the moment I'm like, this is terrible, I'm never gonna write this, but I'll jot it down in my phone. And then I find them 5 years later and I'm like, girl, why did you not finish that? That's how probably everyone feels about everything I've posted musically on the internet. I'm like, I don't know, here you go. And people are like, hi, I'd like to actually listen to this, please. And I'm like, that takes so much work. I'm gonna charge my phone up, and I'm also gonna move the scans to in here. This room is more inspiring to me. I like being in this room more. I've got all my stuff, you know? Got all my, I like this yarn room. I was looking at yarn. Okay, I'm gonna go get the scanner. Here we go. Excuse the mess, sorry. Nothing has ever made me feel more like my mom than the day I bought this. First of all, it looks like a sword, love that. That sound, sorry, that's just full body reaction to that sound. Whoa. Okay. I don't know why that really made me feel like I was back in my childhood, but my mom used to use things like this a lot, and she had a craft room, kind of like I'm standing in right now. That is a nostalgic, good and bad sound. Do you ever have things like that? lot of the illustrations that I did, I scanned them like too soon after I drew them, and some of them had like black marker on them. And then slowly over time, I just keep getting more and more almost invisible to my eyeball, but definitely not invisible to the scanner, black smudges on the glass. Yeah, see? Knew it. I like to illustrate with like pencil and paper and pen. I do make digital art, but there's something about making it with your hands on the pencil, on the paper, and feeling the friction of what you're drawing and the pressure and having a physical copy. I like copies of art that I made, but it's kind of wild that you spend all this time on it, but then if the scan of it is bad, that's like what people will end up seeing. Can I just send this to somebody and they can have the burden of scanning these because I made it? I don't want to also have to get the best picture of it so it's not ruined. No, it'll be okay. Everything's fine. It is the next day. I kind of had a little bit of a meltdown. Not meltdown like crying meltdown, just... Yeah, that's a big fat lie. I cried pretty hard, right on my living room floor. That's all right. I started to really spiral a little bit because I realized how much I actually had to do and how behind I feel. It went from like, oh my God, keep me company, to like, oh my God, I still have like so much art I have to do. And also I kept terrible like organizational track of my files, and they're everywhere, and there's some on this computer and some on this computer, and I wasn't thinking at all when I was making it. I was just drawing and then throwing it into a manuscript, and then I was like, oh, this is just a placeholder. So now I'm like having to redo this all over again. I will never make this mistake ever again in my life. Now I know that. That's also a big fat lie. I know that I will make this mistake so many more times in my life. I will learn nothing from this. Yeah, everything's due tomorrow. This is probably the worst week that could actually happen because I have something on Friday that is somehow even bigger than this in terms of time constraints. So, you know, it's one thing at a time. I can't do it all at once. One thing at a time. It's 10:07. I can stay as long as I need to here, and everything's gonna be fine. I already did the hard part, right? I already drew everything. No, I didn't. I actually have so many more things I need to draw, but it's not even important. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. Okay, you're gonna keep me sane today. We're gonna get going. Okay, let's get this scanner up first. First question is, if I could eat one meal every day for the rest of my life, what would it be? Well, great question. Thank you for asking. So it's diced bell peppers with chicken breast, sauteed in this pan, and then I put smoked paprika, chili flakes, salt, black pepper, and then sriracha, and then I cook it all up together, and then the bell peppers soften, and the sriracha kind of makes this like almost sweet, syrupy, like it reduces kind of, and it's like really spicy. I warm up my zucchini separately so it doesn't get mushy because it's already cooked, and then when that's like warm, I put it in the pan and mix it all together. It's very spicy. It like makes my nose run every time I eat it. I love it. I've been eating that every single day for probably the last 6 months. It's going strong. I have there's no end in sight, honestly. So, all right, next question. If I were to be a character in a book or a movie, what role would I be? I would probably be like the funny best friend. Most likely be, like I would be a Leslie Knope type. If I were to ever act, that's probably what I would be cast in. I just want to be there to have a good time, honestly. Like, I would love to be in something dramatic, and I think I could be, to be honest with you. I think that would be like the highlight of my life, would be to act in something very dramatic and have a very serious role. I think I have a lot of emotion I can tap into that's just pretty much right here all of the time. I'm just swallowing it down 24/7. So it'd be nice to have something to put that to use in, except that's not just like writing sad songs. But I don't know if that's in the cards for me, just because of my type as a person. So yeah, I think I would be cast as like the supporting funny best friend, and I think I would have a lot of fun doing it. But Leslie Knope isn't a funny best friend. She's the main character. So I can do that if I would just say Leslie Knope. I feel like that's a great answer. Leslie Knope. Also, me and her are pretty much the same person, so it wouldn't be a stretch. What's a memory that always makes me smile? When my brother moved into an apartment in Long Beach, it was like this beautiful apartment, and you could see the ocean from the window. It was just a very defining moment in his life when he moved into that place. Him and his now wife, my sister-in-law, lived there together for a long time, and the place had a fireplace in it. I love a good fireplace. I can't Oh my God, it's the best vibes. There is something so magical to me about fire and like being around it. It's almost the same as like being near water. It just shuts my brain down immediately in like the best way. I mean, this isn't like an uncommon feeling about a fireplace, right? But there's just been very big moments in my life where I've sat by a fire and made some big decisions. And so I don't know why, it's just like a special thing for me. He had just moved in. He like didn't really have any furniture and everything was kind of in boxes. And it was just me and him in the apartment, and I was like coming over to see it because I was so excited. And I was like, have you lit the fireplace yet? And he's like, not yet. And I was like, we have to do this together, like the first time. This is so exciting. Kyle taught me how to do it and get the little kindling and then starting it and then adding, and it was just really special to celebrate this big accomplishment in his life of getting this apartment and living so close to the ocean and feeling like you're in this place that's so safe and so beautiful with somebody that you love that he moved in with. Yeah, it was a really, really beautiful moment. I think that was the first time I felt really like an adult with my brother because he's so much older than me. And so, but at that time it was like, I was very young and it was fun to get treated like an adult by somebody you look up to that's much older than you, that you just admire so much. Man, I have got Noah Kahan stuck in my head. Noah Kahan is just on another level. One thing I do have to do is I've been going through and just making like a, man, my computer is so dirty. I've been doing my hair too much while watching Netflix on my computer, and when I spray like a hairspray or something, it kind of just wafts over to my computer and now it's all sticky.
I confiscated those from a kid.
That explains why they're so sticky. Sticky Nicky eats anything, and I don't get sick.
I love the smell of alcohol. Is that weird? I love really strong smells, like obsessed. I love the smell of cigarette smoke. I love the smell of gasoline. I can't handle being around them longer than like a second. I want to have complete control over what I'm smelling, so I feel trapped in my body if I'm smelling something for too long and I can't escape it. It's like #1 way to give me a panic attack is just make me smell something for too long. But with that being said, the smells I like are very intense. Like, Anywho, I'm not gonna dive into that. But I've been making a spreadsheet of all the images and illustrations I have and then all the ones that I don't and need to still create. And I think that's what stressed me out the most was because, you know, like when you're afraid to really think about all the things you have to do, so you just don't, but then your body still feels, your brain still knows, it sends signals to your body to be like, hey, you should probably panic soon, because that panic will then like launch you into action to then get those things done. So it's not like ignoring it actually works, it's just a conscious decision to not, but my body still very much feels like I'm behind all the time. Every time I try and eat, my stomach's like, what if you weren't hungry and just anxious about something? Could we do that? I'm like, no. So getting this spreadsheet together, it was like I started panicking because I just became so aware of how dumb I've been. Not dumb, that's the wrong word. I don't like to say that about myself. How intentionally dismissive and ignorant to how much work I still have to do when all I want to do is just celebrate the fact that something is done, like one portion of it is done. And so as I was getting it all together, I was like, this actually isn't new information. All of these red lines that you have to go back and redraw or resend or whatever, none of these are new requests being like demanded of you, at least. These are things that you feel 24/7 when you're walking around, and now you can just see it, which is great because now you don't have to walk around with that 24/7. You could just look at this spreadsheet, but there's a danger in that. Because then the dopamine of me not completing the task but just putting it onto a list, dangerous. That's dangerous for me, which is why sometimes I don't do it, because I know myself so well. I know that if I make a list of it, in my mind it's done because I got it out of my head and into the physical world on a piece of paper. It's done. Basically, that's half the battle for me. And then my brain's like, is it the whole battle though? Because it could be if you wanted it to be. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying really hard to not confuse organization and the dopamine of a list for the completion of the task. See, I'm looking at it right now, I'm getting a little nervous, but that's fine. I look rough, there's no two ways about it. I don't feel it. I just look it because I didn't get much sleep last night. I was here really late, and so I was like, I'm just gonna stay the night. But then my two friends, Harry and Janina, who live in New York, they were doing like this research and development night for Harry's bartending business called Cocktail Legion. He's very, very good at what he does. In fact, I'm gonna fly to New York and film with him to do like a little masterclass on cocktails. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun for us to put a camera up and make cocktails and have fun. I thought it would be fun. How many times can I say the word fun? I just thought it'd be fun for us to make cocktails and have fun. I thought it would be fun. Anyways, so he was doing research and development for a couple drinks that he is doing for an event. And I was like, oh my gosh, how fun. Like, I'm right next to a grocery store. Like, tell me what ingredients to get and I'll make this drink with you. And I should have known right then and there that absolutely no work was going to be getting done, as you should have known. I go and get the ingredients, come back, and essentially this drink was like the Master Cleanse with bourbon in it. I don't know if you remember the Master Cleanse diet. People were just carrying around like gallons of water with like lemon juice and cayenne pepper and maple syrup and ginger or something in it. Essentially it was that, but instead with bourbon. It was so good, but the whiskey that I got, or the bourbon that I got, was 120 proof. I didn't really make that connection that it was gonna be like stronger. The drink hit me very hard and like no work was done after that. But you have to see the video I made trying to show Harry that I was making this cocktail. It's so chaotic. This was me trying to figure it out. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna taste this Knob Creek Single Barrel Reserve 120 proof whiskey. Okay, well, that was supposed to be the thing that helped me open it, and it just... Will scissors work? Okay, well... I can't even open it. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna... It's just a wax seal. This is not supposed to be... Okay, I'll get back when I have it open. Got it. Okay, is there more? I cannot. Okay. Ooh, that kind of smells like weed. I just want to sip this really quick. Okay. I'm supposed to do 2 ounces of this. And then, I hope I don't have any cuts in my hands. Oh, I do have a cut on my finger. Fun! I feel like this isn't gonna be bad. I think it was supposed to be honey, but I got maple syrup instead. Well, whatever. Okay, I'll do ice. There's seeds. How do I shake it? I'll use a paper plate. All right, the garnish of all garnishes. Get off that, thank you. Let me skim this really quick. I've been told to garnish with fresh ginger. I'll just This is becoming mush. Cheers. There's so much ginger. Okay, actually, that is not what I thought it was gonna be. Okay. That's better than I thought it was gonna be. So anyways, I had pizza and drank that and fell asleep. I got work done before that. Yeah, not much after, that's for sure. That was my night last night, very fun. There's a really cute squirrel that's across the street and he's kind of chunky. And I'm like, you're so well fed, I love you. There's another one. Maybe they're in love.